Paul, have you thought about your act for the show yet? Any changes in the act, or is it going to be, you know, the usual routine?
No, we'll have to change it, I'm sure. We can't... Hey, stop it. We'll have to change it, but we can't do the same thing all the time. We haven't thought about what we're going to do yet.
Suits with collars on? Brush, parting hair?
Never know.
Something like that?
It may not wear suits. Never know. We know.
Into something of a witch hunt.
No, we thought it might be that kind of thing. I think a lot of people in England did, because there's this thing about, you know, when America gets violent, gets very hung up on a thing, it tends to have this sort of Ku Klux Klan thing around it. It's even
Sorry about that, I didn't mean to. What about the taste of the fans over there? Did you find same stuff?
You never been.
Yeah. Yeah. If we expected them to be very different, but they weren't at all.
Yeah.
The accent was the only thing, you know, it was the only difference. Lovely.
Did they reckon you sang in an English accent or American?
No, some fella said, how come because you're from Britain and you still sing an American accent or something? Huh?
Yeah.
So funny. We've been trying to explain to him that it's a Liverpool
American,
accent.
you know, but he wouldn't believe it.
He kept saying, oh, it's funny.
I hear anyway that the four of you.
Well, we try not to mention that.
It's a dirty word.
This new phrase that's coming up, the Liverpool sound, is a bit of a puzzle to some of us older people, especially in Ireland. Could you define it for me?
It's a puzzle to us too. It's not really a Liverpool sound. You know,
no such
it just
thing.
so happens that the new groups who've come out all happen to have come from Liverpool, so people sort of generalise a bit and say, aha, the Liverpool sound. But really, you know, if you listen to the groups, they're all quite different.
Yeah.
It's not all one big sound that's coming out.
Now, it's no use saying, are you surprised by your success, because quite plainly you're not a bit surprised. But
We
are surprised.
Still going?
Irish backgrounds we're on.
There's an Irish
I think I saw one at all.
Yeah, sometimes you get home for a whole week, but sometimes you don't get home, you know, for months on end.
It's normally about one day in,
Mind
say,
you,
3 weeks.
The new idea, telephones help a bit, you know.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. God bless Graham Bell.
Yeah.
Does
Freddie Bell.
does the continuous living and working together impose any temperamental stress upon you?
No, actually, it's quite lucky because we've been together now for 40 years, and you know we've all been mates for.
This way?
No job.
Oh, sorry, come back. Him? Yeah. Yes. Oh.
Well, my name is Eric. Good to meet you. Hello, Eric. Welcome to Japan. Well, I'll be the MC for your show at, well, I have a few questionnaire. Do you have a good sleep?
Yes, fine.
Did you have any knowledge about Japan?
It's amazing security, you know, I've never seen so many people guarding it.
And so we don't want you to be hurt or anything,
No.
so we're trying our best.
But we don't want the security to hurt the fans, you know, don't get too rough with them.
And, well, I understand you met your queen.
Yeah.
What was the impression?
Oh, she's okay. Clip.
No, I didn't. Someone made that up. I didn't even have a tie on.
You know, there's a young lady back here a little while ago asking me how often you chaps wash your hair.
Once a week, twice. You know, any time. It's like when we get a cut, you know, there's no set time.
Paul? Yes. I think your name is Paul, right?
Yes.
Paul, you are a favorite in Toronto. I think it's your good... No, I think it's your good looks that go along with it.
Gee.
I've got some questions to ask you here. Please, could you tell me the name of your racing greyhound?
I haven't got one, actually.
You haven't?
No, it's a... Well, a girl sent in a letter to me, and she said, would you like a Grayson greyhound?
A Grayson?
And I said, yeah. But she hasn't sent it yet.
She hasn't? Oh. How will she send it through the post? I'm sure she will.
No, she hasn't sent it yet. I hope she does, though. You know.
Oh, he's a great one. Listen. Is it true you sleep with your eyes open?
Well, you know, I haven't seen myself do it, but actually the fellas say that I do.
They do?
You know, they've sort of seen me sleeping with my eyes open. I haven't
You really have?
seen
How can you do that?
I don't know, you know, it's just sort of half
You're just
open.
clever. Just brilliant, Paul.
Yeah.
Please ask Paul if he plucks his well-shaped eyebrows. I think he might. Do you?
No.
You know, and it doesn't look so... No, they're perfectly
I don't.
beautiful girls.
No.
They're absolutely beautiful. Paul, do you mind girls screaming all through your act?
No, we like them screaming, generally all of us, but it's a bit much all the way through.
Yeah.
But we love them screaming.
John, this is a question which you've probably been asked 1,000...
What do you expect to do in Hong Kong? Well, Bob. Well, Bob, in Hong Kong, I don't know, just sort of see what's happening, you know. It's very different, isn't it, from what I've ever seen before, I should imagine. You think you'll get an opportunity to do any sightseeing?
And this is George.
Paul McCartney.
Paul
yes.
McCartney.
Made a mistake again, hey?
No, I never make a mistake again. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
You're a left-handed guitar player too?
Yes, it's done by mirrors.
By mirrors?
If you watch me in that mirror, I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed.
It's amazing, really.
We've seen them, you know, we've seen you making films and doing all sorts of marvellous things, but what have the changes meant to you?
Nothing really. I think the main changes are in people's attitudes to you.
How?
I don't know. But it's people who change rather than you. You know, we feel exactly the same, really. Got a new suit, though.
But you've made a film since then, and you just finished it.
Yeah.
Why did you make a film?
Well, it's a logical step, isn't it? And I believe it's quite... lucrative, I believe.
Anyway, someone asked us.
Yeah, we were asked to do it, and we said, yeah. And Alan Owen wrote it, and we changed it, and we're all...
It's called A Hard Day's Night.
Hard
At
Day's
your local
Night.
cinema now.
Not now.
Not now. Soon.
Did you prefer this time last year, or...
Hier in de foyer aan de bar achter mij zitten ze dan echt, de Beatles. First of all, you introduce yourselves.
George Harrison, Paul McCartney,
John Lepper,
Jimmy Nicol.
The question we just had from one of the people in the audience is, were any of you in love?
Me. Yes, he's married.
That's right.
Yes, of course.
Does that put you in an exceptional position?
Oh,
Being married?
Sunday, yeah.
On Sunday. Would you want to get married, the others?
No, I don't like marriage.
Why not?
No good marriage.
It's good.
What do you think?
I don't know, yeah. It's when I've got some more money.
Cost money to get married?
Well, you need a bit, don't you? You know,
To marry?
you need a new suit and hat and that.
I've seen you interviewed many times, television, screen, watched your films. One question I don't think you've been asked, you probably have, I don't know, why are you called the Beatles?
Why not?
Come on,
Goes
just
by
say-
any other name, eh?
Yeah.
It's the name John thought of.
Did John think of it?
Mm-hmm. No, John did.
Who thought of it? Ringo, did you think of it?
John thought of it.
John thought of it.
John thought of it.
John, there's a rumour in the news of the Beatles paper that you might be leaving the group.
Rubbish. I'm
Absolutely.
contracted.
You're writing some more poetry.
Can we have a look at it, please?
Sure.
Yes.
Hang on.
Look at it now.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, viewers, and welcome to an interview with John McGregor.
That's not a
Thanks,
picture,
John.
is it?
It is. News of the Beatles.
See, you buy
No, not really. It's a happy place, that's all. You know, it was just, we were trying to write a children's song. That was the basic idea, and there's nothing more to be read into it than there is in the lyrics of, you know, any children's song. Sparky, you know, it's the same kind of thing. Sparky.
Maybe one of us said that, but I didn't.
It was me. Well, I mean, you know about that anyway, you know. I mean, we could say a thing about, like John's religious thing in England, and it wouldn't be taken up and misinterpreted quite as much as it tends to get here a bit. You know, I mean, you know it does, but it was.
To say it again and again.
The
Whip it up a bit.
the thing is, I think, you know, you can say things like that in England, and people will listen a bit more than they do in America, because in America somebody will take it up and use it completely against you, and not have many scruples about doing that. And I don't know. You know, I'm probably putting my foot in it saying that, but
You'll be explaining the next
yeah, I know. Oh well, it's just wonderful here. Well, I don't know. The thing is, you know, do you expect us just to go on forever, you know, making more and more money, making more and more figures, bigger and bigger? You can't just go
And
on
if
forever.
certain people have decided they don't like the statement, then, you know, we don't
We'd
want,
like to get rid of
we'd
them.
rather who like us and really like us rather than pretend to like us.
Based our success on, compared with other people who are doing the same thing, and compared with other people who have recently done the same thing as we've done. This tour has outsold their tours, so, you know, I mean, yet we're unsuccessful, you know. I don't believe it.
I haven't.
From a group who give great pleasure in one way to another musical group, and one member of it who gives great pleasure in a slightly different way, but much the same. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul McCartney. Paul, it's great to have you here, and one thing... as we've been rehearsing today, that I've been wondering is whether in fact you ever expected things to be as good for you as in fact they've been. When you started as a group, did you expect things to go like this? Did you?
No, we used to sort of think of things in stages. Still do, I think.
Yeah.
When we when we first started off, you know, playing in the cabin and things, I thought, first of all, let's get a record contract. We all did. We got a record contract. We said, let's get a #1 hit. Got one of them. You know, and
so I hear. Yeah.
Went on. We do it in stages. So we never
But
thought.
after
of
you've
it
got
being
a
this
number
big.
one hit, you hoped for another number one hit.
Yeah.
Then what?
Something like the Royal Variety Performance.
And
Something
then?
sort of big and thing. Then, what came after that? America, I think.
Yeah, which was marvellous. And after America?
The film.
Now, it's fairly close to the film being as big a success as everything else, I should think. Now, if it is, in sort of a bit later this year, a big success, what will be the next ambition then?
I don't know, another film probably. You know,
Yeah.
I
And
think
then
that's
that will
about
be
the
a
only
success. And what about after that?
Oh, don't ask me, you know, I'm only doing it.
Have you got any ambitions, in fact, in other spheres completely? I mean, do you want to be Prime Minister one day? Or, I mean,
No.
does that sort of thing?
No, I don't want to be, no, nothing like that, no. God. Retire, you know, that's quite...
Retire. And when do you think you'll achieve that ambition, in fact?
The way things are going in a couple of years. No, no idea.
When people usually ask you what's the best thing about being one of the Beatles at this stage, what you usually reply the money as the first quip, as fact. But what after that's one of the good things?
Even though everyone is sort of getting on very well in this society we've got, it's a bit too controlled, you know, because you suddenly, you want to go and do something and somebody says, oh, no, subsection B, clause A, you can't do that, you know. And you say, well, why not? Because, you know, I'm a human being and that, and haven't I got my rights? I say, well, yes, but you're not allowed to do that. They say, well, you know, if it doesn't interfere with anyone, it must be okay. And they say, sorry, it still isn't, you know. So people have suddenly, I think a lot of people have twigged that this, they've shut themselves in a bit, you know. They've got all these rules for everything, rules of how to live, how to paint, how to make music. And it's just not true anymore, you know. They don't work, all those rules, because you can't apply them, because it means then that you're assuming that you know it all, you know, and the primitive man, us, and something else, you know, and we don't know it all yet. And so all of this gang of people from International Times, Indica, and the whole scene,
We pay tax and things, but we don't know how much or how much we've made or anything, you know, because if we were going to worry about that, we'd be nervous wrecks by now.
I'd like to direct this question to Messrs. Lennon and McCartney. In a recent article, Time magazine put down pop music, and they referred to Day Tripper as being about a prostitute, and Norwegian Wood as being about a lesbian. Now, I just wanted to know what your intent was when you wrote it, and what your feeling is about the Time magazine criticism of the music that is being written today.
We were just trying to write songs about prostitutes and lesbians, that's all.
Quick ring.
Do you have any plans?
Cut.
Do you have any plans
You
to
can't use it on
work
the air,
separately in the future?
Can you repeat that question,
Yes. Will you be working separately in the future? Or together?
It's all together, probably.
Together? John Lennon, aren't you doing the picture alone?
Yeah, but I mean, that's only in the holiday bit, you know,
I see.
in between Beatle.
Fred Paul from KASK. First of all, I'd like to say hi to you all again. It's really good to see you. And
Go on, Fred.
you know, is trying to see where we are now, and see what we've got around us, see any mistakes we've made, straighten them out. You know, it's just a straightforward endeavour kind of thing, you know, just to do something.
Yeah.
Other than what's been done before, because what's been done before isn't necessarily the answer. There could be another answer. You know, what they're saying and what they're doing is sort of nothing strange about it. It's just dead straight. But it's that they're talking about things that are a bit new, you know, and they're talking about things which people don't really know too much about yet. And so they tend to get, you know, people sort of put them down a bit and say, you know, weirdo, psychedelic and things. But it's really just what's going on around, and they're just trying to look into it a bit. So next time you see the word, you know, like sort of any word, any new strange word like psychedelic, you know, drugs, the whole bit, you know, freak out music and all of that, don't immediately take it as that, you know, because your first reaction's got to be one of fear, you know. If you don't know anything about it, you can sort of trust that it's probably going to be all right. And it's probably not that bad. Because, like, it's human beings doing it, and you know vaguely what human beings do. And, you know, they're probably going to think of it nearly the same way you would in that situation. And that's true, you know. You can trust to the fact that things are generally not as bad as you make them out to be.
Have you taken LSD?
About 4 times.
And where did you get it from?
Oh, you know, I mean, if I was to say where I got it from, you know, it's illegal and everything. It's silly to say that.
Don't you believe that this was a matter which you should have kept private?
But the thing is, you know, that I was asked a question by a newspaper. And the decision was whether to tell a lie or to tell him the truth, you know. I decided to tell him the truth. But I really didn't want to say anything, you know, because if I'd had my decision, you know, if I had it my way, I wouldn't have told anyone, you know, because I'm not trying to spread the word about this. But the man from the newspaper is the man from the mass medium, you know. I'll keep it a personal thing. If he does too, you know, if he keeps it quiet. But he wanted to spread it, so it's his responsibility, you know, for spreading it, not mine.
But you're a public figure, and you said it in the first place, and you must have known that it would have made the newspapers.
Yes, but to say it, you know, is only to tell the truth. I'm telling the truth, you know. I don't know what everyone's so angry about.
Well, do you think you have now encouraged your fans to take drugs?
I don't think it'll make any difference, you know. I don't think my fans are going to take drugs just because I did, you know. But the thing is, that's not the point anyway, you know. I was asked whether I had or not. And then from then on, the whole bit about how far it's going to go and how many people it's going to encourage is up to the newspapers and up to you, you know, on television. I mean, you're spreading this now at this moment. This is going into all the homes, you know, in Britain. And I'd rather it didn't, you know. But you're asking me the question. You want me to be honest. I'll be honest, you know.
But as a public figure, surely you've got a responsibility to lots and
No,
lots
it's
of
you've
teenagers.
got the responsibility. You've got the responsibility not to spread this now. You know, I'm quite prepared to keep it as a very personal thing, if you will too. If you'll shut up about it, I will. I was always frightened of classical music, and I never wanted to listen to it because it was Beethoven and Tchaikovsky and sort of big words like that, and Schoenberg. You know, I always thought... I mean, sort of like a taxi driver the other day had some sheet music of a Mozart thing. And I said, what's that, you know? And he said, oh, that's the high-class stuff. You won't like that. He said, no, you won't like that. And I said, well, what is it, you know? He said, oh, no, you won't like it. You know, it's high-class, that. It's very high-class, highbrow. And that kind of way, I always used to think of it. I used to think, well, you know, that's very clever, all that stuff. And it isn't, you know, it's just exactly what's going on in pop at the moment. Pop music is the classical music of now.
people just take our music and, you know, in a line, and we just sort of say, yeah, she was just 17. And they read everything into that, you know. She was a 17-year-old nymphomaniac working on the streets of Broadway. But, you know, what we meant is she's just 17. But it might mean all the other as well. I don't know, you know. I've no idea if there's any Aeolian cadences and, you know, miasmic climaxes and all of that. I mean, we're the last people to know about our songs, because the pop world's never heard the pop world as such. Because we can't, you know, it's like if you look at a snapshot of yourself, you're looking at what tie you were wearing, or whether you were looking nice in the snapshot. You know, but anyone else would just take the snapshot and say, oh, that's good, that's a snapshot of Tony, you know. It's nice. We really just always think of ourselves as just happy little songwriters, just little rockers, you know, just playing in a rock group. But it gets more important than that after you've been over to America and you've sort of got knighted. Oh well, it's just wonderful here. Well, I don't know. The thing is, you know, do you expect us just to go on forever? When we were touring, and when it was at a sort of peak of hysteria, instead of just thinking, oh, that's nice, I mean, we could have just thought, aha, click, you know, let's use this and for evil, you know. But there's no desire in any of our heads to sort of take over the world, you know. That was Hitler, that's what he wanted to do. There is, however, a desire to get power in order to use it for good. If you've got power, you've got to use it for the good.
Started off by saying I was already engaged, and now the papers tell me I'm married, and they tell me I'm divorced now. So, you know, I don't. Maybe I am married. Oh, sorry. Maybe I am married. I don't know. The papers tell me I am.
Gentlemen, it's good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Larry. Nice to see you, Larry.
What is Apple, John?
It's a company we're setting up which involves records, films, electronics, which make records and films work, and what's it called, manufacturing?
Yeah, it does a few things.
You know, the byproducts that end up with Larry Page T-shirts and that.
It's just trying to mix business with enjoyment.
Pleasure.
Because we're in business, you know, we find ourselves in business.
Are you the directors? Are you the directors of this?
Yeah, but like all the profits won't go into our pockets. They'll go to help people, but not like a charity.
What do you plan?
Somebody wants to make a film, and they go to a company and they get shown into the waste paper bin, and nothing ever happens. So they go around, they make an underground one, and it goes round and round underground, and a lot of people never see it. So if they come to us, they won't stand a chance. But we hope to make a thing that's free, where people can just come and do and record and not have to ask, could we have another microphone in the studio, because we haven't had a hit yet.
I see. How expansive, how large will this be here?
Oh, well, like that.
How large will it be in America?
We don't know yet. You know, it'll be big, I think.
We're just blowing up the balloon.
There's lots of things, you know. We just got a friend of ours who's in electronics.
Oh, yeah?
I'll tell you about this chap, who's called Alex. And he's great. He's a Greek fella. And he's invented incredible things, you see. So that'll be big.
Well, are the days of the Beatles on stage over?
Well, they've been over for the last 2 years because we've been on land. But you never know, do you? With all these incredible electronics, we might come flying over New York playing one day.
Did you enjoy the trip over to India?
Yes, lovely.
The journey was terrible. But the trip was all right.
Yeah. There was a report that now we get very bad reports.
Smashed him.
That you didn't like it, or you didn't have the patience, and you decided to go home.
We were there 4 months, or George and I were.
No,
we lost 13 pounds, and we looked a day older.
Did you think this man's on the level?
I don't know what level he's on, but
he's on the
we
level.
had a nice holiday in India and came back rested to play businessman.
What do you see in the years ahead? For yourselves?
You know, an expanding vista.
Apple, you know, try and set it up and then see where it goes. It's like a top, and we set it going and hope for the best.
Paul, about a year and a half ago, there were quotes on the wire about your discussion of LSD and some other things, narcotics.
Yes, Larry.
It seemed to me, from what I read, that you had endorsed it and condemned it.
We were manufacturing it at
What's
the
the
time.
story?
No,
the business went bump.
Somebody asked me, some newspaper man came up and he said, have you had LSD? So I thought, well, I'll either be cagey here or I'll be honest. So I said yes.
And it was his responsibility for reporting it. So they had him on TV saying, why did you say this? Why did you say this?
Almost like that situation.
Yeah, but they kept asking him, did you take it? So he says, yeah. But on TV he says, well, you don't print this bit of film, man. I mean, I don't want to tell anybody about it.
Almost like the situation with the Christ statement.
Yeah, right. But see, they just asked me a question. I gave them an answer. And then it was blown up. I mean, you know, I just spoke the truth. And it's sometimes painful.
You know, here in the United States, we've had a lot of riots on campuses in the last...
You betcha, Larry.
Do you read much about these? Things?
Yeah, it's on the news.
You know, these same
We've
people
got TV back home now.
You have?
Yes. We've seen it.
These same people were Beatle people 4 years ago.
Yes.
And
they've grown up.
What's your immediate reaction when you read about something like this? It's happening overseas now, too.
It's going on everywhere, you see, so the immediate reaction
It's a
is...
drag.
Wonder what the main object of all this going on at once is. And then that makes you think, Larry.
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
even in
people
Wales,
seem to
they're
be-
rioting.
People seem to be, like, unhappy about something. And they seem to be messing it up. So that anything we can do to help, we should do.
And that's what everybody's doing.
That's what Apple's about, you know.
Trying to make people happy.
Not really, you know, just trying to help, you know, they don't have to be happy. You know, just trying to help people.
I'm very slow.
You get the picture, Larry, come on, own up.
Own up, Larry.
Are you happy?
He used to be nice, Larry. He used to be very charming.
Yeah, I'm not completely happy. I'd be a fool to say I was, Larry.
It varies, doesn't it? I mean,
generally.
if you had it all the time,
generally,
it might be hysterical, but...
Do you miss the big crowds? I mean, the big crowds? And
No, I don't miss them at all, Larry.
It's all past now.
Well, we don't know. 5 looks quite big to me these days. My eyes are going 27, you know.
How is Ringo and how's George?
Lovely.
Very healthy.
Do you plan any type of theatrical production?
I don't know. If somebody comes up with a production and says, I can't get this on, we say, can't you? Let's have a see look.
What do you think about
I mean, us ourselves doing it.
Yourselves, on stage.
They're doing one of John's books at the National Theatre in London.
It's disgusting what happens in England these days.
What about, I hate to get on politics.
Singing and all
It's
that.
all right.
We're still doing all that, you know. Nothing's changed. The only difference is we don't tour. But we might do in the future, you know.
You might tour again.
Yeah, we only stopped touring because there was nowhere to go. You know, you could only get bigger and bigger audiences. You couldn't hear it, and we
what with
couldn't
all
get
the
better.
rifles and the big masks and all that and the clubs frightened me to death, viewers.
Oh, I hate to get on politics, but you know, you're a young man, about my age over
27.
there, right? And what do you think about this racial business over in England? I know we talked about this before. Seriously,
the one over in England. Or
you know,
the
the leader of the party talking about laws against immigration and.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it's
They just
all
try
the
to be
same
with
old
it.
thing.
What do you mean by be with it? Just.
Well, like the Queen doesn't need to be with it, says Hardy Amis. She is it, says Hardy Amis.
Now that thing's just the same question everywhere. You know, there's no different in England. It's a bit less harmful in England, but it's the same thing. You know, some people don't like other people because they're not the same as them.
I talked to you after about a year after the assassination of President Kennedy, and you said that at the time that this alarmed you. You know, it was a shocking thing when you first heard about it.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same
Assassination is
the same type of feeling about Martin Luther King?
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you think we are, deadbeats?
I mean, well, what was your general reaction? Of the
What
people?
was yours then? I can't describe. I felt, oh, they've got another fella, have they? They've done it again. Who is it? You know.
Of course, you're separated from the scene. You're over there, and you're outside looking in.
No, not really. You know, no, that's not.
We're trying to keep up with what's going on, Larry.
It's the same thing everywhere. You know, there's somebody messing it up, and we're going to find him.
I believe his description is going round now, this very moment.
Right.
A short brown suit with a pair of charcoal grey trousers.
You're keeping up with the times.
Oh, I am, yes.
One final question. In all the time you've been Beatles, before you were just people from Liverpool, there was always a question that somebody asked you, well, when's the bubble going to burst? Remember that?
Yes.
The bubble hasn't burst, and it doesn't seem like it's going to burst.
It just flew off.
But do you ever envision a time of just ceasing being the Beatles and going off on your own, or even working together?
We do work on our own anyway now.
You never can be anything else
We
but
are
the Beatles.
the Beatles. You know, that's what we are.
We're also Apple as well, see. They're like Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Brown. But they're both meant to be nice, you see.
Do you plan a visit over here again? For
Oh, yeah. You know, we don't plan anything. It just happens, you know. We just come over here and go over there, and it's, you know, we'll be back, and you know, anything could happen.
Out of all your experiences in the United States, what would you say was the highlight of your career here?
Escaping from Memphis.
Seriously,
just the first thing happening. Just hearing about I Want to Hold Your Hand in Paris, I remember it so well. We had a celebration milk, and when we got here and all that scene was going on at the airport, it was amazing, that was it.
Did you expect this?
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Did you expect it?
No, and it was just sort of getting a foothold in the market, but not getting your whole head right in straight away.
What do you think about music now, here in this country, our top 40?
Nielsen for president.
Do you think music is making it? Do you think it's improved any? Do you think
Some of it, there's a lot of sort of...
It goes up and down, you know.
Well, we got Bill Haley again, and we also got what came before him, that's... Young girl, get out of the room.
I guess that's about it, but I'd like to extend my best wishes to both of you. And
it's been a pleasure.
I don't know if it's going to help,
working with you, Larry.
Yes, it is.
Enjoyed it?
And you can join Apple anytime you like.
Okay.